start you off real quick.
You got another gift for me, or
Yeah.
what? Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
No, well, I fucking...
Is it 3 beers this time?
No, but... Well, so, they're bigger, though.
it's like sliding.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
I played in Mammoth last week. And more from our green room that I'm not going to use.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Dude. All right.
So there you go.
I'm going to not immediately crack one of these because these are actually like good-sized beers.
Yeah, and you did say you wanted to stop drinking around this point for these episodes, but I thought just in case you wanted to give it a little hint of crazy on these ones.
Yeah, well, I mean...
You don't have to drink those.
So you gave me the punk rock holiday.
Show the camera, dude. Don't be a dick.
I thought I did.
Okay.
All right, I'll go.
There you go. Yeah,
Mammoth Brewing beers. A Golden Trout and Yosemite Pale Ale.
I don't know what that means.
Well, the Golden Trout's a Kolsch German-style ale.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
Yeah, so now you're on board. That means like lighter.
All right. Well, yeah, there you go. Whenever you're... Yeah.
Yeah, that's going in my beer fridge.
They had a ton in the green room, and I was like, oh, sick, I don't need those. Actually, maybe I do need those. I'll take them.
Yeah, you should always take the green room shit.
You never know who's going to need it.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, it's part of their budget to pay you.
Yeah, so...
I'm going to get paid.
Get my money.
Yeah, and then use it as gifts for free goodwill.
Yeah. I mean, I do need client gifts. You know, it's good, it's fantastic write-off, but those were free. So...
When you got me the Aviator gin with the Deadpool on it, did you write that off for taxes?
You better believe I wrote that off. Same with the Slipknot whiskey.
Yeah, this is a business.
It's a startup, but it's a business.
It's a business expense.
Yeah.
I needed it to fuel my writing.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not a client, right? Like,
yeah.
You can't use this as a client right
You're a partner.
Like a co-owner. With all the paperwork that I signed said I was a co-owner.
Whatever. If they want to come after me over semantics, then fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Enjoy your Mammoth beer, Mitch.
All right.
Let me know how
I
it
will
is.
later.
Yeah.
It's right now it's a Sunday night at like closing in on 11:30. I'm probably going to not drink anymore.
You say that now.
Wait until you're gone. I'm going to drink all the beers you gave me.
All right. So we finished up January 2008. We just found out we are about to record a full-length album at Pennywise's studio, and we found out we are going on our second Warped Tour in a row, back to back.
We're on a heater.
That's right. And so we're all just, got giant heads. We're super ecstatic again. Yeah. Yeah. Like our first 2 tours are Warped Tour. No big deal. No big deal at all. But we did just play like the shittiest show we had played in like
yeah,
quite a few months.
If we had opted to like figure out how to do another tour in between Warped Tour, they probably would have all been pretty shitty shows. Yeah,
I'm sure there would be a couple cities where like there would have been people from Warped Tour that might have wanted to come see us.
Sure.
But yeah, mostly shitty.
That just is what it is.
Yeah, until you have to really made a name for yourself.
You have to be opening for somebody big, pretty much.
Yeah. But so, all right. So our last show was January 23rd. We somehow got back-to-back shows at 705 in Hermosa on February 2nd and 3rd. One of them was through our high school. I remember having to go for a meeting. We're not in high school anymore, but our high school, Miracosta. I remember having to go like to a meeting for it or something. Somebody asked us from the high school. So apparently we were still pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean everybody's still talking about us back at the high school.
Yeah. 705 is we opened for the Circle Jerks there. We opened for Guttermouth there. We had played there quite a bit. We were very familiar with it. And this band that actually Chris was singing for with your little brother, Steve, who's come up quite a bit. Chris quit Fallen Figure when we went on Warped Tour, but they were playing with us at least one of the nights, if not both. And they are my main memory of it. The guitar player jumped off his amp and broke his knee. That's
pretty wild.
Yeah.
Did he come down on his knee? Or like just the impact, kind of like a Bad Religion's merch guy.
Oh my god!
Like the shock impact of his feet.
Okay, well the ground, that guy was knees. 40-something, lifelong, obviously not a healthy guy. This was a teenager who just jumped and broke his knee. So maybe he just landed on it.
Yeah, it could have just been a weird landing.
Yeah, I don't know. But he broke his knee, and they had to stop the set, and ambulance was called and stuff. But
man, I have no memory of that. Because I looked at the notes and you said fallen figure guitar player broke his knee. I was like before? He showed up with a broken leg?
Yeah, no. He broke it on the fucking
He
stage.
shattered his leg on stage and had to get carted away.
Yeah. We only had one more show in the month. We basically spent the rest of the time writing because we were supposed to record a full-length album and we did not have that much material. The only other show we had, I'll get to that, but the only other show we had was at a place called Safari Sam's, which is up in LA, Hollywood area, on Sunset. I remember being really excited about it only because I had seen Death by Stereo there not too long ago, and the venue was cool, so I was like, oh, well, Death by Stereo there, it's got to be a cool venue. It turns out without Death by Stereo,
less cool.
I think Fathom came to hang out with us, or maybe they were on the bill. I don't remember.
That's like right up in their area.
Yeah,
so
they lived in what, Altadena, was it?
Yeah,
Silver Lake area. So I think they came to hang, but it was a cool venue, but it wasn't that great of a show.
We didn't have much of a drop there yet.
Not nearly as much as Death by Stereo. I know that's shocking to hear, but yeah.
Not yet.
Not. So that was our only other show. So we had two. So we had to write a lot. And also bring John and Taylor up to speed. We did teach them. We had a lot of shit left over from the Josh and Sean years of SBNC and Allura. So I think we had like.
You mean like unfinished songs or songs that
not even unfinished? Like we weren't able to record them and such. We hadn't gotten around to it yet, and we were still considering bringing some stuff from the SBNC era, making them Allura songs. Chris and I wrote a song almost right away after Josh and Sean quit. We wrote a song. I wrote another song on top of that. Taylor brought his first idea to us as well. So as soon as we found out that this was happening, we were on it. We will go way in depth. Next week we're having a bonus episode.
Bonus episode.
On our next album, Allura's first full-length album, which will be called...
The Organization of Sound and Silence.
If that name is familiar, it is an SBNC album as well.
It's because we already used it once.
Yeah.
Under a different band name, so it's fair game again.
We kind of liked to drop little SBNC Easter eggs all over the place, kind of like marveling it up, even way beforehand.
The extended universe.
Yeah. Kind of like SBNC is Allura, like Iron Man is Dr. Doom, kind of.
Sure. I mean, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll see. I'm very excited.
We know, man.
So we actually got to do pre-production with Stern Bumble,
which we've mentioned in the past from other albums. Like, man, really would have benefited from some pre-production. So we were really pumped to actually do it this time. Like, really sit down and work with the producer,
bounce ideas off of not the five of us for the first time ever. Besides, like the engineer, like in the studio, just being like, maybe we could do something different, or finding out that something doesn't work, because that always happens. But so we still had the rehearsal studio, Grooveworks, over in the fuck city is that?
It's Torrance, or no,
Lomita.
Lawndale, Lomita.
Lomita, I think
it's Lomita.
So Stern came over, and we literally had a week of pre-production. Like I think it was 5 days in a row of practice, or something like that. And we went through every song that we had written, and all the ones that we were either bringing over from SBNC or had written and not recorded yet as Allura. And we just went through it with him song by song. Some of it I was like, all right, we're getting somewhere. And other stuff I was like, I don't know. Not that I've sold 1 million albums or anything, but I was already kind of getting the feeling that I wasn't gonna be super on the same wavelength as him.
Yeah, I think you guys were kind of butting heads about like the structures of songs and stuff, where it was like he is an established producer, so we were like, we kind of have to just, and he's doing it kind of almost as a favor to record us.
He was getting paid.
He was getting paid, but he was like he was helping us by doing it.
Absolutely.
So when he said, cut this thing in half, don't do this whole part. This part doesn't make any sense. We like basically felt like we had to listen.
Yeah.
We were still pretty young. Felt like we couldn't really advocate, I think, for ourselves.
We were already having a problem advocating for ourselves. A Change in the Winds EP, which I enjoy, turned out way differently than we had envisioned because we weren't basically saying, we didn't say anything.
Yeah.
We just let it all happen.
Like, sure, whatever you say, sir.
And I guess being left over or like carrying over from that, this time I was trying to have a little more of a backbone. And I don't know if you guys were, but I was definitely clashing with him, with this new producer. We're going to get into it more on the episode. We're going to start talking about the recording process. But basically, in our heads, the way we were writing, like he was really stoked to work on a metal band, but he was more like old school, like Pantera, really stripped down, not really any backing vocals. Mm-hmm. There's no second guitar. It's just Dimebag like that. I feel like that was like his kind of realm, and we were more of the like, we loved Avenged Sevenfold and Killswitch. There was layers and layers of harmonies. And
we wanted
guitars.
to kind of overproduce it, and I think he wanted it to be a little bit more like, not necessarily raw, but like simplified. Maybe would be a way to describe it.
Yeah, but it was just like, so basically this entire time of going through it, like the ideas that we were presenting were like just not in his wheelhouse, and he was making like, it just felt like it was like, all right, well, now that it's this new way, at least in my head, this doesn't make sense to me because now it just sounds boring without all the other stuff that we had envisioned for it, So I was just
and I think, to be clear, there were also good ideas.
Absolutely.
There's definitely stuff where it was like he was correct.
We will get to those in the in the
credit
in
where
the
it's
bonus.
due. Like
Absolutely.
he earned his money.
I remember
he did a good job.
I remember quite a few, and I will be pointing out the ones that I thought he was absolutely correct on. So I'm not saying it was 100% a bad experience.
Yeah, because like you said, we hadn't sold 1 million copies of anything.
We had in fact sold less than 4,000.
Yeah, still pretty good.
Still did pretty damn good. But so it was in Redondo, so the studio was close. The family clothing had kind of like slowed down, and I was running out of money. This wasn't being paid for by us, but just like in trying to get ready for Warped Tour and feed myself. I needed to get another job, so I called Ken and Fletcher and asked if I could like take on a second job, just anything. I wasn't trying to find anything good. Something that I could quit in 2 months because I knew I was about to leave. So I got a job at Jamba Juice. Nice. That sucked. That's what hat and apron combo is never a good look.
No.
That really bummed me out. But
I bet you make a mean smoothie.
I'm sure I do. They had a big free button on the screen when I worked there. I don't know if it's still there. It's kind of weird.
Next time you go to Jamba Juice, just try. I'm like, hey, why don't you go ahead and hit that free button?
Yeah, it's just literally said like free. I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit that every time.
Anytime one of my friends comes in.
Yeah.
But my first day at Jamba Juice ended up being the first day that we had agreed to come in and record the album, and I think it's pretty clear at this point. But there is no way I was going to go to Jamba Juice when we were supposed to be recording an album at Pennywise's studio.
Yeah, your priorities are pretty clear.
Yeah. And at the time, I think maybe this would still work. I haven't tried, honestly, but I used to do this to get out of school. I would just take a couple Advil and not eat anything, and it would make me throw up. So I used this tactic at Jamba Juice so I could come to the studio with you guys on my first day of work. They didn't fire me, and I worked there for quite a while. But
they couldn't possibly fire you for throwing up on the job.
Yeah, they had no idea I did that. So,
they didn't know it was self-induced.
So, anyways, that's how the recording process started off for me. I had just thrown up right before I got there, but I got to leave. Yeah, it worked like a charm.
Yeah.
I don't know. You feel this was one of the most intense recording processes I've ever been through.
It was, it wasn't as bad as the up in Malibu one for me, where I felt like I was gonna get put down at any given time.
Okay.
But it was very intimidating walking in because I obviously grew up listening to Pennywise. Their records were on the walls and shit. When we walked in there, I was like, oh fuck, we're like on hollowed ground.
Yeah, 100%. And you know how so the guy was giving you a hard time up there. With this guy, even if we were doing a good job, he was still giving us a hard time, kind of thing. Like
he's a very like stoic kind of like dry guy.
Yeah.
So you never know if he likes anything.
That too, but he would literally, like, I would do it and he'd be like, "That was perfect," and do it again. Like, wait, what?
But it was perfect though.
But it was just like that kind of feeling like the whole time, and I know we were all scared basically, like, and just right off the bat, vocals end up going last for these things, and it's a very tried and true story that the band runs out of time, and then the singer has to do it in like all the vocals in like 3 days and absolutely destroy his throat. But so that happened to you. Yep. Again. So you were struggling for this whole time. This is just assume that's part of this whole story now. Yeah, man. Like, I just remember, like, we were in there till like 5 a.m. a couple nights, and I was just playing the same riff for like hours and hours. Like, I hadn't like really, like, I was at a point now where I was like, all right, I need to get really good. But this was only like 4 months of me being the lead guitar player, and I hadn't improved that much.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was very difficult for me to play some of this stuff like as well as I should have been.
And I think vocally, at least, I'll save it for the bonus episode.
Sure.
But I think vocally the songs got a lot harder too.
Like the newer ones that we had written,
because they're just getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah. All right, we'll talk about that on the thing. I think you're probably right about that. So let's go over the songs in my head there. So we started off. I think you did scratch tracks. We were all doing scratch tracks live just so Chris could play along with us. So we did the drums. I think Chris did it in like 1 or 2 days, maybe. We were going for 11 songs, and then we just did guitars next, and it was just Taylor was newly in the band. I was newly the lead, and it took us
a bit of a slog.
It took us quite a long fucking time to get all these parts down. So much so that we did vocals before bass. And then, so we were having a hard time. And then it was your turn and you were having a hard time. We did not have time to do the bass, basically.
Yeah.
John had overdubbed one part, and the rest of it, we listened back, and the producer was just like, you know what? He's on time. More so than the rest of you fucks. We're just going to use his scratch tracks. So except for one part of track number 8, all of the scratch tracks that John recorded while we were helping Chris is what's on the album. So it was I don't know. It was rough. We had a couple friends come. Sean actually came by the studio to hang out with us. With another olive branch extended to Sean, or by Sean. And he came to hang, and Pepper was actually recording at Total Access Studios next door. So we all went and said hi, and they were like, Surfer Sean, because that's what they called him on Warped Tour. Like, fuck, you haven't changed at all. And this is where, I don't know if you guys remember the last episode of the Warped Tour ones. I made an ass of myself with a Throwdown drummer asking if they wanted to play a show with us. I essentially did the same thing with Pepper. A promoter in town said, like, Pepper's in town, if you can get them to play with us, or play for me, that would be great. And I asked Kaleo, and he was just like, ooh, not during recording time. And I immediately just felt like just a stupid little kid again. Like, what?
I didn't learn my lesson.
I still don't know that there's agents and stuff, and I'm just going up asking people.
That's kind of on the promoter. Like, the promoter asks the guitar player from a band to, like, oh, you know Pepper. Like,
yeah, he knew that we were buds now. But yeah, I mean, fuck. Yeah, I still felt like a fucking idiot. But anyways, so that was a really hard experience. I think we were in there for 2 weeks. Was it?
That sounds right.
Yeah. And that was in March. Unfortunately, we did bring a camera and we filmed stuff. I think it's all gotten lost.
Really?
There's no pictures of us being in there. There's nothing, which is weird because it was like a very big, intense deal. But
You would think that they would exist somewhere the same place as the Warped Tour videos, except that was Josh's camera, wasn't it?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and he wasn't there anymore. So I mean, from my part, like it's like I was like really struggling on this one. How was your feelings on this session? Like, where were you at?
It was rough, and I think I was also like I was trying to be too much of a rock star outside of the recording, and so I'd like
We've touched on that.
yeah. At this point, I was like fully smoking cigarettes like all the time now.
You were the frat president, right?
Yeah, I might have
January 2008. I know they'd already asked you. I don't know if you were like sworn in yet.
I might have become the president, but when I was a president, I was partying less because I had to always be the one ready to talk to cops if they came to a party. So I was like, it was actually like helped me not drink as much to have the responsibility. But yeah, I think I was split too much, and I remember like kind of like screeching into the parking lot and then like jumping out of the car and running in and recording vocals and like no warming up and like not knowing even how to warm up at this point.
Yeah, I don't think we really did.
And it was really tough because the same way that he would have you redo the same guitar parts over and over again, it was redoing vocal parts where I was like stretching to hit, and he goes like, okay, that wasn't that great, do it again. And I'm like, well, fuck. This one's going to be worse. They're all going to just keep getting worse until we give up.
Yeah. So I think the year prior when we were doing A Change in the Winds EP, I think I think we were talking about like Chris had just become a phenomenal screamer, and I don't know if you actually talked about this. I can't scream at all at this point in the band, which was I mean, not that anybody ever said anything, but in my head, this was a big source of embarrassment for myself through all of this, that I could not figure it out as much as I tried so hard. I just could not do it.
Chris learned how to scream, like the proper scream.
I mean, not that he took lessons, he just figured it out.
No, yeah. He drilled it until he got it. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't wrap my head around it. So when I would scream, I was just like actually screaming. And there's like a difference between like the like yeah, and then there's like like as I was like
yeah.
And so I was doing those, and that was like it was shredding my voice a little bit every time.
Yeah. Anyway, so I couldn't at all. You couldn't figure it out. Taylor actually had a very good scream in a lower register, which we were using to our advantage now. But to go back, so A Change in the Winds one, we basically at that point, like we were trying to move it there just because we knew you had a hard time, but because you were having such a hard time on that session, it was there. They basically said like, okay, Chris is screaming, and now you're gonna do way less.
Yeah, which felt like a demotion.
Yeah, I know. But then I think that happened. The split happened even more this time because you basically couldn't even attempt it at this point because your voice was already getting shredded. So Taylor and Chris did like 99% of it, and we were just like, all right, you focus on this. Let's make sure you can get through it. So that was like even more of a separation at this point. Am I right?
That sounds right. I remember there was lots of parts where like we had written it in a way where like, and this is also maybe more bonus territory, but the vocals would like go from a sing to a scream, like kind of build up.
Yeah.
And we started doing this like I feel kind of awkward thing where it would like I'd build up and then just kind of like fall back, and then like Chris would just like and like and you can hear it cut. There's no I don't know. It doesn't have the same impact that I feel like it was written to have.
We have. I mean, it might have just been the software at the time. We've since done that recently, and I think it sounds way better. But yeah, you're right. It needs to be a full thing. But like, so there was all this. There was a lot of like just outside pressure. I think I don't know how Chris or John or Taylor felt being the new guys, but at least for me and you, like I was just like I got a fucking
pretty generally unhappy with how it was all going.
Yeah, granted, we were getting a full album done on Not Our Dime, and we just found out on Warped Tour, so there's just like huge high, and then also like I'm not good enough to play my own songs right now thing.
Yeah,
That was
came in feeling like rock stars, and then
going
it was just
on.
like, oh shit, actually we're not like good enough.
Yeah, so that was in my head at the same time as being really excited. And then so next week's gonna be a bonus episode, and then after that, there was a very big occurrence that changed everything, not only for this tour but for the next 10 years.
Ooh.
Is one thing that really sets off a giant chain reaction. So after the bonus episode, come back. You'll find out what the fuck happened. But
I guess so will I. I'm very curious.
yeah. But next week you're gonna hear about the songs and how difficult it was for me and Mitch to get through all this. Okay.
All right.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Organization is Sound in Silence. Allura version bonus episode next week.
Bye.